Every day is a battle, a struggle between discipline and distraction, between purpose and procrastination, between the version of yourself you want to be and the one the world tries to shape. In a world where external noise is deafening and temptations are constant, it's easy to lose your way, forget what truly matters, and be swept away by chaos. But the wise men of ancient times already knew this dilemma. The Stoics, with their iron will and unwavering clarity, understood that the key to a fulfilling and powerful life lies not in controlling the outside world, but in mastering the mind. The words you repeat to yourself daily shape the reality you live in. They are the foundation of your mindset, the armor with which you face adversity, and the beacon that lights your way in the darkness. Today I bring you 10 powerful phrases you must say to yourself every day to strengthen your mind, stay firm in the face of adversity, and move step by step toward your best version. These words have stood the test of time, have guided great thinkers and conquerors throughout history, and are now here to remind you of the power you carry within. Get ready, because after hearing this, your outlook on life will never be the same. Before we continue, I would greatly appreciate it if you could like and share this video so that it can reach even more people. And if you don't want to miss any of my future videos, subscribe and turn on notifications. Choose calm over impulsive reaction. In life, we can't always control what happens around us, but we can always control how we respond. An impulsive mind is like an unleashed storm. It destroys without thinking, overwhelms everything, and leaves behind consequences we later regret. On the other hand, a serene mind is like a calm lake. It reflects reality with clarity and responds with wisdom. When you choose calm over impulsive reaction, you are taking control of yourself. Don't let anger, fear, or frustration dictate your actions. An insult has no power if you choose not to be offended. An obstacle won't stop you if you face it with patience. Failure won't defeat you if you learn from it, instead of letting despair take over. The Stoics believed that no one can steal your peace unless you allow it. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful emperors in history, faced betrayals, wars, and constant challenges. But his personal journal reveals a fundamental principle. If you are troubled by something external, the pain does not come from that thing itself, but from your interpretation of it. And you have the power to change your interpretation. Next time something provokes you, breathe before responding with anger. Pause and ask yourself, is it really worth losing my peace over this? Will this reaction help me in the long run? Every time you choose calm, you strengthen yourself. Every time you resist impulsiveness, you become the master of yourself. This is not about suppressing emotions, but about governing them. True strength is not in shouting the loudest or reacting the fastest, but in maintaining composure when everything around you seems to be on fire. Today and every day, remember, calm is power, and choosing it will make you unstoppable. My actions define who I am. You are not what you think of doing, nor what you say you will do. You are what you actually do, day after day. Words can deceive, intentions can change, but your actions speak with absolute clarity. You may consider yourself disciplined, but if you constantly procrastinate, are you really? You may say you value honesty, but if you lie when it's convenient, what does that say about you? The Stoics understood that virtue does not lie in ideas, but in practice. Epictetus said, "Do not seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for them to happen as they do, and you will live in harmony." This reminds us that we are not defined by what happens to us, but by how we respond to it. Every day is an opportunity to prove who you are. Are you someone who gives up easily or someone who persists despite difficulties? Are you someone who waits for things to change or someone who takes action to transform their life? This is not about achieving perfection, but about acting with consistency. Your values must be reflected in your decisions. It's not enough to say you want to be better. You must do what is necessary to become better. It's not enough to want self-discipline. You must make the difficult decisions it requires. Think about the moments when you felt truly proud of yourself. It wasn't when you had good intentions, but when you turned those intentions into action. When you faced fear, resisted temptation, or pushed forward despite exhaustion. At the end of the day, what you do repeatedly becomes your identity. So ask yourself, are the actions I take today bringing me closer to the person I want to be? If the answer is no, change. If the answer is yes, persevere, because in the end you are what you do, not what you say you will do. I turn adversity into growth. Life is not easy. You will face obstacles, failures, and moments when everything seems to go against you. But here's the key. You are not defined by difficulties, but by how you choose to face them. The Stoics knew that suffering and adversity are not enemies. They are tools. Marcus Aurelius, Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote, "What stands in the way becomes the way." This phrase contains a fundamental truth. Every obstacle carries within it the seed of growth. When you face a problem, you have two options: complain and see yourself as a victim, or view it as an opportunity to become stronger. Adversity does not destroy people. It reveals them, showing you who you truly are and what you are made of. Failure is not the end, but a lesson. A loss is not just pain, but an opportunity to learn the value of what you had. The Stoics teach us that the external world is beyond our control, but our attitude is always in our hands. You cannot prevent problems from happening, but you can decide how to respond. You can choose to despair, or you can choose to adapt. You can choose to give up, or you can choose to move forward. Every difficulty is a test that makes you stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Think about the hardest moments in your life. Weren't they also the ones that taught you the most? Weren't those challenges the ones that pushed you to grow? Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Today, decide to see every obstacle as an opportunity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I use this to improve? Instead of running from difficulty, embrace it and turn it into strength. Because in the end, it's not adversity that defines your destiny, but how you use it to grow. I am the master of my thoughts and emotions. Your mind is the foundation upon which your reality is built. What you think and feel determines how you experience the world. If you believe everything is against you, you will live in frustration. If you decide to see every situation as an opportunity, you will find growth even in adversity. The Stoics understood that it is not external events that disturb us, but the way we interpret them. Epictetus put it clearly. We are not affected by what happens to us, but by what we tell ourselves about what happens to us. If someone insults or hurts you, it is not the insult itself that causes pain, but the importance you give it. If you fail at something, it is not the failure that defeats you, but how you perceive it. You have the power to decide how to interpret every situation, and in that decision lies your freedom. Being the master of your thoughts does not mean ignoring emotions, but understanding that you govern them, not the other way around. Sadness, anger, or fear are not enemies, but if you let them take control, they will drag you down. Instead, if you observe them without letting them dominate you, they become guides rather than chains. The key is to train your mind. When a negative thought arises, challenge it. Is this really true? Is it helpful for me to think this way? When a strong emotion overwhelms you, breathe and choose how to respond. Do not react impulsively, act with intention. Every day, life will test you. There will be moments of pressure, conflict, and uncertainty. But remember this: no one can control your mind except you. No matter what happens on the outside, you decide how to feel on the inside. Today, become the master of your inner world. Do not give your power away to others. Do not let negative thoughts dictate your fate. You are the architect of your mind and the master of your emotions. Make them work for you, not against you. I focus on the essential, not the superficial. In a world obsessed with appearance, approval, and distractions, it's easy to get lost in what doesn't truly matter. We worry about what others think, about accumulating material possessions, about comparing ourselves to others. But at the end of the day, what really has value? The Stoics teach us that the key to a fulfilling life is focusing on the essential. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having many possessions, but in having few needs." Happiness does not come from external things, but from inner peace, virtue, and mental strength. When you live focused on the superficial, you become a slave to external factors, what others say, fleeting trends, and temporary success. But when you focus on the essential, you free yourself. You learn to value what truly matters: your character, your purpose, authentic relationships, personal growth. Think about this. If you lost everything tomorrow, what would remain in your life that truly has value? It won't be luxury or others' admiration, but your integrity, your wisdom, and your ability to face life with courage. To focus on the essential, constantly ask yourself, is what I'm worrying about really important? Does it bring me closer to the life I want to live? Learn to let go of what is useless. Envy, fear of others' judgment, obsession with material things. Instead, invest your energy in what truly matters: learning, helping, improving, and building something meaningful. Do not live to impress, live to transcend. Do not seek to accumulate things, seek to accumulate wisdom, because in the end, what is superficial disappears, but what is essential remains. I choose virtue over fleeting pleasure. We live in a society that constantly invites us to seek immediate gratification. We are bombarded with promises of quick pleasure, eating whatever we want, consuming whatever we desire, satisfying our impulses in the moment. But as the Stoics teach us, immediate pleasure rarely leads to lasting satisfaction. On the contrary, what truly fulfills us is virtue, ethical behavior, and self-control. Seneca said, "True happiness is not found in physical pleasures, but in the tranquility of the mind and heart." Fleeting pleasures, overindulgence in food, material excess, or escaping through distractions, leave us empty once the moment passes. In contrast, virtue, integrity, and self-discipline are sources of deep and lasting satisfaction. Choosing virtue does not mean renouncing joy, but learning to value what is truly meaningful: honesty over convenience, generosity over selfishness, wisdom over impulsivity, patience over immediate gratification. Virtue is not about denying yourself happiness, it is about building a happiness that does not depend on external things, but on your inner strength. Today and every day, remember, pleasure fades, virtue lasts. True happiness does not come from giving in to impulsive desires, but from living in alignment with the principles that elevate us as individuals. When you choose virtue over fleeting pleasure, you invest in a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Every time you forego immediate gratification for something greater, you grow stronger. By practicing self-discipline, you become the master of your decisions and your life. Momentary pleasure may be sweet, but inner peace and the pride of acting with virtue are far sweeter and more lasting. Today, I challenge you to choose virtue instead of taking the easy path. Choose what will truly lead you toward your best self. Virtue shapes you. Fleeting pleasure consumes you. 7. Discipline is my greatest strength. Discipline is the foundation upon which all true success is built. Neither talent nor luck determines whether you will achieve your goals in the long run. It is your ability to stay committed even when difficulties arise. Discipline keeps you moving forward when motivation fades, when comfort tempts you, or when distractions abound. The Stoics knew that the key to a virtuous and fulfilling life lies in self-discipline. Seneca put it plainly, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Discipline gives you control over your time and energy, ensuring that you invest in what truly matters. Without discipline, you become a prisoner of your desires and emotions. Procrastination, indulgence, and disorder invade your life, pulling you away from what you truly want to achieve. But discipline is not about restriction. It is the ability to choose what is best for you in the long term, even when something easy or pleasurable is right in front of you. It is waking up early to train when fatigue begs you to stay in bed. It is studying and refining your skills even when you'd rather relax. Discipline is the conscious act of choosing what moves you closer to your purpose over the temptations of the moment. By developing discipline, you are building inner strength. Every time you overcome an impulse in favor of your goals, you become stronger and more resilient. Discipline teaches you to be the master of yourself, to act with purpose and determination. It is your greatest strength because it transforms intentions into actions and actions into results. Today, choose discipline, because within it lies the strength you need to build the life you desire. 8. I do not seek approval, only consistency with my values. We live in a world full of external pressures where the opinions of others can heavily influence our decisions. We want to be accepted, appreciated, and validated. However, true peace does not come from external approval, but from living in alignment with ourselves. When you seek external validation, you become a prisoner of others' expectations. Every decision you make is shaped by fear of judgment, preventing you from being authentic and true to your principles. The Stoics understood that true freedom lies in doing what we believe is right, regardless of what others think. Epictetus said, "The wise man does what is right, not what is popular." This is a fundamental lesson. The path of virtue is not always the easiest or the most applauded, but it is the only one that allows you to look at yourself in the mirror each day with pride and peace. When you act in alignment with your values, you free yourself from the need for approval. You no longer depend on others' opinions to feel complete. You know that your decisions align with what truly matters to you. The key is not to please everyone, but to remain true to yourself. Authenticity is a powerful force because it is unshakable. You cannot be easily swayed when you know what you stand for. Every time you make a decision aligned with your principles, you become a stronger and more confident version of yourself. External validation may fade, but the satisfaction of living with integrity remains. Today, choose to act with consistency, not to seek approval. Seek the peace that comes only from living authentically according to your values. 9. Life is short, so I act with purpose. Time is the most precious resource we have, yet we often waste it without realizing its finiteness. Life is short, shorter than we think. Every passing day is a reminder that we do not have all the time in the world, and that every moment lost is one we can never regain. The Stoics, aware of the gap between the life we live and the one we imagine, insisted that we must live with intention. Marcus Aurelius put it clearly: "Stop debating what a good man should be and be one." Purpose gives direction to our lives. Without it, we are like drifting ships, floating without a destination, waiting for something to push us forward. But life does not wait for us to be ready. It moves forward relentlessly. Acting with purpose means taking control of our actions, decisions, and thoughts, ensuring that each one brings us closer to the person we want to become and the goals we wish to achieve. When we live with purpose, we move away from distractions and meaningless pursuits. We do not waste time on trivial worries or fleeting pleasures. We know that every minute counts, so we invest our energy in what truly matters: our goals, our relationships, and our personal growth. Today, remember that your time is limited. Make every action a step toward your goal. Living with purpose does not mean having everything under control, but acting with awareness and clarity about what you truly want to achieve. Do not let fear or procrastination steal your time. Life is short and the time to act is now. 10. Every day is a new opportunity to improve. Every sunrise brings a new page in the book of your life. Yesterday no longer exists, and the future is uncertain. The only thing you truly own is the present, and with it, a new opportunity to get closer to the person you want to become. We often fall into the trap of regretting the past or worrying about the future, but the only thing we can truly control is what we choose to do today. The Stoics, like Epictetus, constantly reminded us that true wisdom lies in understanding that every moment is precious. The past cannot be changed, and the future is not guaranteed, so the only thing that matters is how we use the time we have now. Every day is a new opportunity to grow, improve, and be better than yesterday. It is easy to fall into the mindset that progress must be immediate or visible, but continuous improvement is not always linear. Sometimes the most significant growth happens in the smallest and quietest moments. A conscious decision to be more patient, an extra effort to learn something new, or the ability to remain calm in the face of difficulties. Remember, it is not about making a giant leap every day, but about taking consistent steps toward your goals. Continuous improvement is a process, not an event. Every time you face a challenge and choose to overcome it, you are growing. Every time you learn from your mistakes, you are making progress. Every time you decide to do something to the best of your ability, no matter how small, you are investing in your future. Today is a new day, a new opportunity. Don't let it pass by without making the most of it. Every moment is a chance to be a little better, and those small daily efforts accumulate to transform your life. Stoicism teaches us that our true strength does not lie in what happens to us, but in how we choose to react. If you've made it this far, you now have 10 powerful phrases to repeat every day to transform your mindset. But remember, knowledge without action changes nothing. Start applying these lessons today, and you will see results. If this video inspired you, leave a like and share it with family and friends who could benefit from this wisdom. And if you want to continue learning how to strengthen your mind and live with purpose, don't miss the next video, where we will explore another fundamental lesson of Stoicism that will surprise you. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any content. See you in the next video, and remember, You have the power to shape your reality.